We're going to talk about the good parts, the bright moments. And there was quite a bit of bright moments. I thought it was a relatively strong year in film. Definitely.
I'm getting ready.
You're getting ready. It's going to be a good one. But no, it's definitely been a better year. You know, I think
Since better year since COVID.
yeah, every year is getting better. You know, 2020 was rough. 2021 was a bit slow too. 2022 it's starting to find form again. I think this year we're in for something special. There's a lot to look forward to this year. But 2022 we're going to celebrate those movies now. Nayan, your 10th best film of 2022. Go.
It is. Nope.
No.
Nope.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think the hardest part of making this list was from like... Nice, you're getting on board.
I'm getting ready, mate.
Was from 7 to 10. I think the top 6 I knew exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
The top 3 it was set in stone for me, pretty much. But I really had to like think real hard and stuff. And as much as I wanted Avatar to be number 10 or not even mentioned, I was like, it has to feature on this list.
Yeah.
And then I was just trying to find that 10th, and I was mulling, like there's so many good stuff. I was mulling over Bullet Train and Glass Onion and this as well, and Marcel the Shell with Shoes On as well.
Mm-hmm.
They were all, like all of those films was just
Yeah.
wanting to be number 10, but I think Nope is the one that got in the end, just because it may not have been Jordan Peele's best film from what he's directed.
Yeah.
But it's still very good, and I think it's a very underrated film of 2022 as well.
I definitely think
I think it's because people were expecting it to be on the heights of Get Out and Us, but it didn't quite reach that.
Yeah.
So no one really talks about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a fantastic film if you actually just watch it as in like you've never seen this director's work.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's my number 10.
Yeah. I mean, you are right. I mean, that after the like 7 to like 14, there's some really good movies. It's hard to find the good order there. I struggle with that part as well on my list. But man, you said everything that I wanted to say. My 10th is Nope as well.
Actually,
yeah. I was very surprised when you said that. I didn't think you would put it on. But yeah, no, you mean you covered everything pretty well. I would actually say this is better than is it Us. Yeah, I think it's probably his most simplistic film. But the way it just builds like tension and drama. I think it's really interesting, and it's just a great watch overall.
Yeah.
Jordan Peele always, you know, he's really good at mystery, and he's really good at building the tension, and it's very atmospheric. I love the visuals and the soundscape that it creates in the film as well. He's getting really good on the technical side of things. So yeah,
he's actually a director I'm really excited for when his movies get announced and stuff.
Yeah,
like not quite as the heights of Christopher Nolan, but like you know, it's like when you hear like, oh, Jordan Peele has a film out, you're like, fuck yes, where's the trailer? I want to see some of this stuff.
You know, you're getting quality. Yeah. He's definitely becoming that, and I think with like, if he does another 3 movies that are similar to his like Get Out, Us, and Nope, he's going to be one of those like big kind of household names soon. Yeah. Number 9th.
Mine.
Yes.
My number 9th is All Quiet on the Western Front.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. Technically, it is an international film, foreign film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it gave me 1917 vibes to it. Just excluding that one-shot stuff, but I think it was just a very refreshing film to see it from the Germans, a World War film. Just it's refreshing to see it from a German perspective, because majority of these war films now, it's always from, you know,
patriotic American stuff,
or like British, you know, like the winning sort of side. We don't really see it from this.
Yeah.
And like we all know that during that World War time, like the Germans were always perceived as the villains and stuff.
Yeah.
But like throughout this film, you could sort of like sympathize with some of the characters and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's not people like back then, soldiers, like you had the army and stuff, but majority of it was just people pulled from the streets and homes and saying you had to do this.
Yeah.
And this is pretty much what All Quiet on the Western Front showed, was like those people with like barely any training except for like 4 or less weeks.
Yeah.
Like they're actual human beings, like civilians going out into this.
Can you believe that was a thing?
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy, yeah. And I thought it would just completely capture that, and like the cinematography was fantastic along with the score.
Yeah.
So it just ticked all the elements.
Yeah.
Your number 9?
No, number 9. I don't know how you react to this one, but my number 9 is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah, I didn't vibe with it on the level of, everyone else.
Yeah.
But I do genuinely love the movie. I thought it was really good. It had a lot of great ideas. It executed them well. It made its concept very interesting and unique, and there's some really underlying themes in there, and I think the character work is excellent. It's just not a film that I resonated with like a lot on an emotional level. I knew what they were doing, and I felt it and stuff, but it just wasn't enough for me to really get or to evoke a really powerful emotional response. But I thought, what the Daniels did on a technical side of things, what they did with the concept, great stuff. Brilliant filmmaking, inventive storytelling. So
Yeah.
Number 9.
I'm interested to see what your next stuff will be. Like I have a few ideas on what it'll be, but like what would be the filler ones?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I love the guessing game here. What is your number 8?
My number 8 is probably very high on your list.
Mm-hmm.
Avatar: The Way of Water.
Oh,
yeah, I made it up to 8.
Surprised it even made the list, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as Avatar 1, that's for sure. I just never vibed with Avatar 1 apart from the visuals and score.
Yeah.
But this was generally, it was a good film.
Yeah.
Like, you could definitely tell the big technological advancements, but I'm not really going to get into that because I'm sure you'll cover it.
Yeah.
But it was just more mainly in regards to that story, it was a more tight-knit story, focusing on the family and introducing this whole other tribe of Na'vi, and having one tribe integrate with others and trying to similar to Next Goal Wins, having something from another culture meshing with another culture and try to understand that is what we've got there. And that third act, as you said so many times, on mic and off mic, is excellent. So I think I had to, I just couldn't not have it on my list. It justifies its place on my list.
Glad to hear that. That's nice. I think you were surprised with this one, my number 8. I finished watching it last night. Fabelmans.
Oh.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it?
I loved it, man. I thought it was great. Steven Spielberg, you just can't bet against the guy. He just creates movie magic. There's something while watching it just feels like magical. Like his style is just,
it's like another world, sort of.
Yeah, even though it's completely based in reality, it's just he has a way of, his characters working really well and how he shoots his movies. It's just it evokes quite powerful emotional responses, and I think it's quite a tender and personal film for him. And you feel it throughout it.
Yeah.
And I love the relationship between the mother and him. It's complex, it's dynamic, and it's messy, like a lot of human relationships. I think it's just so reflective of real life and real relationships and difficulties between people, but also about its ideas about passion and hope and the struggle, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I loved it. Spielberg knows what he's doing. Yeah. Okay, 7th.
Mine is The Northman.
The Northman.
The Northman, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it pretty much lived up to my expectations. Probably not Kyne's. We all know Kyne was very, very amped for this movie. It was his number 1.
Yeah.
For most anticipated 2022 as well. But when I watched when I watched it, I was absolutely blown away. Like from everything, production design, the story, the cinematography is fucking fantastic in this film. I think it's probably one of the best I've seen.
Yeah.
Ever? Yeah, in 2022. But yeah, it's just a good sort of that Viking type movie.
Yeah.
I sort of wish we did see a bit more. Well, just a bit more of these type of films,
like Nordic culture and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Because it definitely is a genre or an era in time that really that I really enjoy watching stuff like that, like Vikings. I love that show.
Green Knight
as well. But yeah, just add in. I forgot who the director is. I know
Robert Eggers.
Robert Eggers. Yeah, he did the Witch and
The Lighthouse.
In The Lighthouse.
Yeah, he's talented.
Yeah, he always writes good stuff, directs good stuff, and his cinematography is always fantastic in this. Even though he's not a cinematographer, but it's consistent between those three films.
He has an eye.
Yeah. So that's my number 7.
For me, Triangle of Sadness.
Oh,
yeah, this movie
introduced you to Fred again.
Fred again, yes. Great EDM artist there. This movie, it really surprised me. It's quite rare you get like a comedy film on this kind of level. But I love, first of all, it is genuinely funny. There were some scenes that had us rolling.
Yeah.
We had an audience member tell us to shut up. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Fucking snobby cunt.
There's some really interesting stuff that's explored, the difference between wealth classes and, morality and all this other stuff that's explored alongside the main narrative. I think is really interesting. The whole concept and how things play out and how it gets to its conclusion is just, it's great. It's really good stuff. I thought the writing was brilliant. The screenplay is just, I think, fantastic. It's cool to see, or have it be a comedy movie that explores, the snobbery rich people.
Yeah.
And then see how that dynamic can change under different circumstances and just the way humans adapt to, changing circumstances and what happens and stuff. So yeah, it was a movie that had me hooked the whole time. Had a movie that had me thinking afterwards, and one that I remember quite fondly. But you're not going to guess my 6th. I know that.
I'm not going to guess your 6th.
You're not. But what is your 6th?
My 6th is your 7th.
Oh.
Yeah. I had it as Triangle of Sadness as well. You pretty much covered it.
Yeah, I'm going to
You covered it really well. I mean, the thing I can add on was that how much of an unexpected hit we're going into this. Because I remember I was going to the screening, like, neither of us were that excited because it was something that we didn't hear about. We haven't seen any
You
trailers.
kept being like, should we go to this one or not? Or should we focus on other stuff?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a nominee. It won the Palme d'Or. So we kind of have to go.
Yeah. And sort of glad we did. It was fantastic. Again, it was just a very unexpected hit. And the last time I felt this sort of feeling from watching like something I didn't even expect to be this good was Spontaneous back in the COVID days.
That movie came.
Like none of us thought that was a good film or was going to be a good film because it came out of nowhere, but it was so fucking fantastic. It's just hard not to like enjoy it. And it had
no one ever talked about that movie, sadly.
And it had like similar vibes. Like it had like that sort of serious tone to it, but it was like very funny and whatnot in its ways, and that's similar to what this Triangle of Sadness was.
That's a good comparison.
Oh, your number 6.
My number 6.
The one that I would never guess.
Yeah, Barbarian.
Oh yeah, because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I went to this screening of Kind. It was like some film festival screening that Disney offered us to go. So we'll do it. But Barbarian, it's a horror movie. And you know how I feel about the horror genre. Like there are good horror movies. Most of them are bad and poorly produced and whatnot. And so I'm not really a big fan when it comes to the horror genre, especially when it's based in really like supernatural elements. I can't buy into the fear factor of it all just because I know it's fake and you can predict when jump scares are going to happen.
Yeah.
This horror movie had me sweating. I was terrified. I was like genuinely like, oh my gosh, like what's going to happen? Like, oh, it's so tense right now, and it kept twisting it and changing, and it was a experience of a horror movie for me.
Yeah.
You know, whenever someone tries to justify horror to me, and they always talk about, oh, it's the experience of it all, and this is what they mean. It was one of those movies where I was like, wow. I watched it again at home. Doesn't have the same effect as a cinema, but it's brilliant. The way it lays out its plot is just amazing, and it comes to really kind of a heartfelt, interesting conclusion. So yeah, my number 6.
Your number 6.
Yeah.
May have to watch it one day.
You might have to. Number 5, 5th.
My 5th
Yes.
is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Interesting.
We're expecting it to be that low or higher?
Nah, that fit in. I think I know everything.
You should
I
be
actually
able.
don't.
You should be able to guess it from here.
Yes. I'm missing one, I know that. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a proper multiverse film of 2022.
Sure.
It's the only multiverse film of 2022 that I
Multiverse of
watched.
Madness.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you pretty much covered it when you talked about it. It was just fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
it's another one that I didn't expect to be that good or like to blow me away as much and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the way it does with the whole the relationship between the mother and the daughter, and just seeing that be built throughout the whole entire film to like a satisfying conclusion, and the character development. What's his name? Ke Huy Quan.
Yeah.
Fantastic in this film.
Yeah.
Thoroughly deserved his supporting actor nominee. And
all the acting's just
and
phenomenal.
Jamie Lee
Yeah.
Curtis.
I didn't even recognize her as like a performance in it until
Yeah.
she won the Oscar.
I think that's the only like bad thing about this film is that she won over what's the daughter's name? I forgot.
Stephanie Hugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she probably should have got on the supporting actress nominee.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ke Huy Quan, like just the way his acting was fantastic. Like the way he went from like a scared, timid man to like so confident, literally like that. Was fantastic. So yeah,
it was excellent.
surprising. Your number 5,
My number 5 is Elvis.
Elvis.
Elvis. Elvis is a good movie, despite some people that hate the movie for no reason. The movie does have its flaws, and I can acknowledge it. You know, Tom Hanks, one of his worst performances, had a little bit too much focus on the movie. But you take away all of that. You just take away the whole Tom Hanks and Colonel Tom Parker stuff.
Just strip it down to Elvis.
Amazing. Great. It's a genuinely a really good musical biopic in that case. Any scene that Austin Butler's on, you're really drawn to it. The way it lays out his life in such a chaotic and crazy style of editing and filmmaking is perfectly aligned to him as a persona of Elvis. He lived a crazy life. He went through, so much like turbulence and medical stuff by the end of it, by just being like his life being too chaotic, really. So to lay it out in that way, I thought was just super entertaining. It was long, but yeah, I mean, I was hooked through every concert performance. I was hooked by the performance of Austin Butler, and I thought it was just the Elvis movie that we deserved. Obviously, take out some adjustments, put a little more emphasis on Elvis. It probably would have been higher on this list, but yeah, for what we got, I thought it was brilliant. Yeah. All right, 4th best movie of 2022. Get into the goodies now.
Get into the goodies.
Yeah.
My number 4 is probably the best comedy film I've seen in 2022, and the best horror film in 2022, and the biggest. What am I trying to say? The biggest unexpected film that I never thought would be good, but actually was fantastic in 2022, and the best animated film in 2022. That won an Oscar, I think.
Oh.
It's Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Did it win an Oscar? I can't remember.
It didn't win. Best animated feature.
Fucking robbed. But no, it's Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Like we went.
How's that a horror movie?
The Wolf.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
It had every single child in that screen off ours
Screaming.
literally screaming, like out loud as well. That's how terrifying that wolf is. But no, me, you, and Kai went into this film and we were expecting nothing from it. You know, like it was just a good Saturday morning or Sunday morning.
I
type
know
film.
he was debating on questioning to even come.
Yeah.
I don't know if you felt similar, but yeah, that was a movie. I'm like, oh, let's just go. It's a Sunday morning one.
And holy shit, that just blew all of us away. Like in terms of the story, the character development, the cute character, which is the little dog thing that you guys keep referencing. Oh yeah, that's a name.
Perito?
Yeah, Perito, you know. Even the animation style, like you can tell that because the DreamWorks' previous film before this was The Bad Guys, and they went more they started going away from that 3D sort of element to like the more hand-drawn stuff.
Yeah.
Even that was fantastic in this because Puss was that, you know, the classic 3D animated sort of character that you saw in the Shrek franchise, but everything else around him was that hand-drawn comic book looking stuff.
Yeah.
And then like slowly, like, this is what I noticed, like he slowly started like integrate into that sort of hand-drawn stuff at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
It was fantastic. And the wolf, I mean, so many memes about him and his whistle. Like you see it on like Instagram and TikTok. Like it's
We knew it'd be a meme. We just knew.
yeah, we just knew it would be a meme. Like everything about this film was just so fucking good. Like unexpected and just so thoroughly enjoyable. Like you can just watch it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your number 4?
Yeah, you stole it from me. Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. Yeah, nah, you cover the whole thing. It's just one of those movies where you watch it and throughout the entire runtime, you're just enjoying it. It's just a really easy and blissful watch.
Yeah.
And it changes a lot throughout it. You know, it's funny, and then it's, you know, a little bit. There's a lot of tension with the wolf and stuff like that. But the thing that I loved about it, you know, the comedy it works really well.
100%. Yeah.
It's far more better from a comedy perspective than a lot of animated films because it goes a little bit mature with its humor.
Similar to what Shrek was.
Yeah. And, you know, obviously you're going to get the reactions. There's a lot of criticism with the humor in Puss in Boots from like I don't want to stereotype, but an angry mum perspective. You know, having
the Karens.
The Karens. Yeah, we'll use the meme. But just having the dog swearing, even though it was censored, and just all that.
Fucking forgot about that scene. So good.
All that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, the comedy works, and I think we need a little bit more animated movies where it can appeal to everybody.
Yeah,
and it's not just so just dumbed down Minions kind of stuff. Yeah.
Just purely targeted.
These
for
are the
those
animated
kids.
films that work. Is when everybody gets enjoyment from it.
Even if you look at the greats like Aladdin and The Lion King, like
Yeah.
it appealed to both as well.
Yeah.
And they're both considered one of the best animated films.
They got really dark and deep stuff in them. And that's when the adults can like go into it and feel it and stuff like that. The kids get to enjoy the entertainment side of it.
Yeah.
We're entering the top 3 now, 2022. What is your third?
I think you know what my top 3 are, but I don't think you know what order they're in.
I feel like I'm missing one.
Oh, you are?
Oh, no, I know what it is. I know what the third one is. Nearly made my worst.
Yeah.
No, okay.
All right, guys. See you later.
What is your third best movie?
You're thinking exactly what you're right. It's Pinocchio and not the shitty fucking Disney one that we got with Tom Hanks in it. It's the proper one, the stop motion one. I don't know how to say his first name, so I'll just say his last name. Del Toro's Netflix Pinocchio.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of stop motion sort of animation, and then when I saw this, I loved, or the trailer for this, I loved it. When I watched it, I loved it as well.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that really made me like this film so much more was just how dark they were willing to go for this sort of Pinocchio storyline. Because if you watch the shitty Disney one, it was just, you know, classic Disney, like happy, fluffy sort of shit. But like, you actually saw some really dark stuff in this Pinocchio film. And I think it just fully captured what the actual book was in terms of that. And stop motion, I can't talk more about that. It's just
I agree with.
It's like the time and effort just to like make this film would have been like so long, and like Del Toro like made sure every movement of the stop motion was perfect, and we saw that even the lighting in the film, even though it might be animated, it's still fantastic. So yeah, number 3 for me.
Yeah, no, it is beautiful from a craftsmanship perspective. It's a masterful piece of work.
Yeah,
no denying that. My third is The Batman. Yeah, The Batman.
I think I know what your top 2 is.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious at this point.
I think I know what order as well.
We'll see. The Batman. It's great. I had it as my most anticipated for the year.
We both did.
Yeah, and I thought it matched my expectations just to a T. It didn't blow me away, and it didn't undersatisfy me at all. A great introduction to a new Batman world, and hopefully it just stays consistent. And this is the Batman that we're going to get from now on. But yeah, what can you say that hasn't been said about this movie? It's shot beautifully. Matt Reeves knows exactly what he's doing. I just have no criticisms about it. I thought the Riddler, Paul Dano, intriguing, interesting villain that's done well, and Robert Pattinson does a great performance. It's truly a Batman movie, which is, I think, the part of it that I appreciate the most. Bruce Wayne is the star of the Batman movies, and if you go back, I'm not going to include DCEU Batman, but the Nolan franchise, Bruce Wayne's the star and Batman is the side character. And so this is
you can even say it for Tim Burton's ones, Batman 89 and Returns.
I haven't seen those in a minute, so it's been a while. But at least from memory, Christopher Nolan's ones they more focus on Bruce Wayne, but you see a lot more of Batman in this. You see the detective, you see a little bit of everything, and that's just appreciated, and it's different and it's interesting, and I mean, no bad words. I do love the Batman, but I think the Batman Part 2 has a lot more potential. Everything's established now, the characters and stuff. So now we can really get into it. Similar to the way the Dark Knight really improves on Batman Begins. Yeah. As an origin for Batman story, I'd put it just a notch above Batman Begins. Yeah. What's your second best of 2022?
Mine is The Batman.
Oh, shit. Interesting. I thought that'd be first. I thought the Batman bias would come through.
Nah. There's definitely a better film that definitely gets that recognition, and you probably know it by now, but everyone else doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, you pretty much said it all, really. You captured perfectly how Batman was a central character in this rather than Bruce Wayne, and that's exactly how it is in the comics. Batman is the main character, and Bruce Wayne is a persona.
Yeah.
I got everything I wanted from this film. No doubt, it was always going to be my number one, and come Batman 2 when that comes out, spoiler alert, it's going to be my number one.
Yeah.
For most anticipated, but yeah, like just the way like they do the fight choreography throughout this film as well.
Yes.
It's a bit, it's fantastic. Like it's not as much as I thought they would go into from that trailer. But like the hand-to-hand combat and everything, like I think we talked about it when that first trailer came out, was it's very John Wick-esque sort of fighting style, and we got that in this film, and I hope they improve on that and like just go full on with that sort of fighting style. Definitely should have gotten a cinematography nomination. 100%. Definitely got robbed from a nomination.
We're both salty about that.
Like the camera work, like in that in the film, like the whole penguin chasing, like
excellent stuff. Yeah,
excellent stuff. The whole upside down shot with the burning flames and the darkness background.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. Robert Pattinson blew pretty much everyone away, including myself, when that cast announcement came out. Everyone was like shitting on him because they were still comparing him to Twilight, and then you pulled me to a side and we're like, watch his other stuff, and I did, and I could get behind it.
Yeah,
and then he just pretty much.
I mean, as soon as it was announced to be out, I'm like, okay, this is a good choice. And then everyone clowned him online, and then Because his other stuff was really small, but you watch it and you're like, oh shit, this guy's a really talented actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James's words to me was, "Watch Good Time and your opinion will change." And that's exactly what I did.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
movie you really need. But here's a bunch of other good stuff out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he was a fantastic Batman. Probably, like, Christian Bale's always going to be number one, but
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson has the makings to overtake him, depending on
Yeah.
how the next two films go.
Yeah, I
For
think we
sure.
need more Bruce Wayne to really see him.
Yeah.
As to really compare, just because you see a lot more Christian Bale, and
Yeah.
then you just see a lot of Robert Pattinson behind the mask.
Yeah.
They're very different performances.
Yeah. Even the Riddler, like, it's nice to see the Riddler get done justice properly.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm hoping like Matt Reeves brings in like these sort of minor A level to B level villains, and
Riddler's always been A-level, I feel.
when I was like minor,
Yeah,
like
not
Nate-
done in films, but like everywhere else, he's quite well
Yeah.
known. Yeah,
yeah. Everyone's copying, saying like the Joker shouldn't be in it and whatnot, but there's arguments saying that you
I
can't have
probably
a
would
Batman
agree with
film without a Joker.
we've got a lot of those kind of movies.
Yeah, I know, and I'm on that fence. I want to see other Batman villains
Yeah.
come.
I
be
think
explored.
I think I was saying this to Kyan in terms of the whole Joker being in this.
Mhm.
I would love the Joker to be in very small, less than 5 minutes,
Like cameo sort of
in each
sequences.
kind of Batman thing.
Yeah.
And then him being a puppet master to something big, say in the fourth Batman movie or the third Batman movie, or even a bigger part of like some other franchise. Just him pulling the strings, building allies between the other villains, and creating a group or something like that.
Yeah.
I hope the Batman 2 doesn't really just go full on Joker.
I hope I don't think it will as well. I think Matt Reeves knows that we've seen Joker so many times. Like
Yeah.
he's just happy for him to be like a side character and let these lesser villains shine.
Yeah.
But in Reeves we trust, and I have my full trust in him.
Yeah, he's gonna nail the Batman universe.
Your number 2, which one is it?
Avatar: The Way of Water.
Knew it.
Yeah, no, this movie, I thought it was fantastic. From a technological, visual effects standpoint, brilliant. The best in history. You can't deny it. In terms of visual effects quality, it is the best in history. The 3D in it, the best in history. So, you got that. And then the production design is just impeccable. Like, it's just like creating everything you see in that movie is new and designed and thought of. Like, even like shit like the grass is very different to grass that's in Earth, and all the plants and
Animals.
and the environments and the layouts and everything is just it's crazy how this world has just been made up.
Yeah.
And just the world building in that sense, I think is just amazing. Obviously the story is not like, it's not like a best original screenplay kind of thing, but it is, it's improved upon. It has a direction now, and it kind of knows what it's doing, and establishing the family element of it. I thought it was done really well. And yeah, as you touched upon, I think the third act is a masterclass in terms of blockbuster filmmaking. That rise in tension, that ship slowly sinking, and the cathartic end to all of that. I think it's just really well done. I think the Avatar series is a series that's destined to continuously keep improving. And yeah, I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm excited to see it all. And yeah, even if you don't appreciate the story of the characters, you can just go in and just let your eyes enjoy what it sees.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right, mate. Best movie of 2022. What is it?
We know it, and I know what yours is as well.
Oh, do you?
100%.
Oh.
100%. It's Top Gun Maverick. Like,
Top Gun Maverick.
this is another film that blew both of us away.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to reveal your number 1? Because I'm sure we'll just talk about this together.
It is Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh.
It made both. Yeah. Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, this is a film that literally blew both of us away. I mean, we both saw the first Top Gun.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, like the first Top Gun was good, but like we just was like we're both regretting not including Top Gun Maverick on our 2022 most anticipated list because like we were not expecting how good this film was, and it was just jaw dropping. Like
crazy, yeah.
Tom Cruise like willing to like put time to like teach his cast members how to fly a plane and whatnot and get it perfect. Like he is just like Hollywood's like go-to guy and like probably the only actor around that like appreciates what film and filmmaking is all about.
Yeah.
From an actor point of view.
Yeah.
The sound was fantastic. Score.
Yeah.
Like probably easily one of the best film scores of 2022.
Yeah.
The tension, like that whole third act had both of us like on our edge, like constantly sweating, heart beating. And that was just not the first watch. It was like the first, like second, third, and fourth watches as well. Even though we know what we're gonna get with it.
Yeah.
Storyline made complete sense as well.
Yeah.
Visuals was fantastic. Anything else you want to add on?
Oh man, you covered it all. But I'm just gonna echo what you say because it needs to be said again. Yeah, like from a filmmaking standpoint, just excellent stuff. I think the editing is amazing. The way it builds tension throughout the entire story. The story itself, it honors the legacy of the first movie while paving its own story that's justified. The build up to the third act is just so impressive. The characters are all really well done. They're likable. The story with Goose's son, I forgot, Rooster. Yeah, Rooster and Maverick is just that's a really an emotional draw, and they really push that by the end of it. It's a movie that's an experience. It's a movie that honors filmmaking. It's got excellent acting. It has all the ingredients.
It's even very emotional. Like
it is very emotional.
Scene between Maverick and Iceman as well. Like especially if you know like what Val Kilmer's gone through. Like
he's going through. Yeah.
That scene as well. Like you were just like fuck. Like this is emotional.
Yeah, it is really emotional in the part where like you think he dies, and the ending is just so like emotionally cathartic because like of what they went through, and then like they hug each other, and that music's pumping in the background. It's one of those rare movies, and I think you get them like once every 2 years where just everything works. Just everything works. We got a domestic next to us. We'll go into that soon. But yeah, I think we both covered that movie.
Definitely. I think this is the film that saved Hollywood.
It is the film that saved Hollywood. I think. I think that's absolutely correct because sure, No Way Home made more money, but that's an MCU movie, and they had Spider-Man, and it had the old Spider-Mans. It was going to,
and
make
it's a
money.
Very well-known brand. Like Top Gun Maverick is just known by the people in the 80s, 60s,
1980s at some
80s.
But then this movie comes out, makes like $1.5 billion, and gets over 700 million in the United States.
Crazy.
And just the way it held on. And it's not just that, it's like everybody loved this movie. Like
I've never met someone or have seen a bad comment about Top Gun Maverick.
It's just one of those movies that are impossible to hate. I think, I mean, and everyone saw it. I mean, I was at the physio one time, like, I'm going to see Top Gun. And the next appointment, like, wow, it was amazing. Like, it's just one of those movies that everybody loved. And we need more movies like Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.